You are you and I'm not me. And where we are is where we be. If it's night or day, the time is now. To get involved, I'll show you how. I'll run the show, you'll do your part. We'll have a blast by making art. Come join the gang, no need to fear. Just bring along your imaginosphere.
I am not me. I am art. And I am live right now, twitch.tv/I am not me. I am art. I am your host, your guide. I am welcoming you to Series 2, Episode 4 of Art Right Now. You are about to experience and create some art, which is, in my humble opinion, the absolute best way to spend a Sunday, with all due respect to God. But before we get to that, as there are probably people tuning in from all around the world, we should take a moment to unite as a singular collective. We like to start things here with a toast, a simple shared action. We grab our beverages in order to link our creative energies and get us all on the same art page of the art book, probably a coffee table book. Our toasts are crowdsourced, so please charge your beverages for today's toast, courtesy of Facebook, remember that, Acolyte, Steve Rogers. That's right, Steve Rogers. To the England rugby team. This weekend saw France emerging victorious in the Six Nations rugby tournament, but the true victory, according to Mr. Roberts here, was England for decisively beating Wales. This is a triumph for two things. Both rugby, where England had their triumph against those leek chompers of Wales, but also of selective appreciation, which has allowed Mr. Roberts to completely overlook the true champions of the tournament in favour of a much less consequential win for England. To France, to beating Wales, to Steve Roberts, to rugby. Cheers. How are we all doing? This is... That was a difficult start. And I am now in a situation where I can only see one viewer, SJBeck72. Lovely stuff. That's very comforting to see you there, SJBeck72. Let me just see if I can find a little bit of extra comfort by doing that. Yeah, okay, we've got some people. Okay, that's good. How are we now, buddies? How is everybody doing? Is it really just one person watching? It might just be one person watching. Well, SJBeck72, this is just me and you, baby. Just me and you. Absolutely rocking the world. We'll get the end credits going. I'm not exactly sure what happened there with the... where's the ticker? Where is the ticker? Maple Panda is here. Lovely. Arn ticker. There we go. We get you back. But why is the Arn ticker not loading up the ticker text? Why is that not happening? That doesn't make any sense to me. And it shouldn't really make any sense to you. Hello, I am here also, TB. Lovely. Oh, why is it only saying one person watching? How strange. Arn ticker open. Oh, there it is. It's going now. Let's just all calm down, guys. Stop freaking out, okay? Even though it only says one person watching, there are multiple people watching, and that's good. That's all we need. That's all we need for our self-esteem. A little bit of admin first. Of course, there's always a little bit of admin, because this episode is, of course, called Art Right Now, Series 2, Episode 4. Sure, but what comes after that is entirely up to you. So if at any point during this episode you are confronted with a short phrase or a long word that makes you feel something, let me know. Now, this can be a phrase that I say, it can be a phrase that somebody writes in the chat, or it could be something that blossoms in your own imaginosphere inspired by the show. All of these are very, very valid, okay? Take that word, take that phrase, pop it in the chat, preceded by ep name. Oh, no, that's not the right one. Ep name, there we go. So, for instance, to help you out, if I was talking about having lost, we just saw him there, my beautiful son, the scamp. If I'd lost him in a terrible tram mix-up, I'd left him on the tram and he had stayed on the tram and I was supposed to leave. And you might write in the chat, ep name, tram mix-up. Or you might write, ep name, dog gone. Or if you like the toast that I gave, maybe you'd write ep name, leek chompers. Whatever phrases come to you via your ears or your eyes or your imaginosphere, as long as they're less than 25 characters, including spaces, get them in the chat, okay? Last episode, of course, was ep name, huge British flex. A wonderful name for an episode. Very evocative. Very evocative. Pop it in the chat. You might end up being the namer of this episode, which is a great thing to write down and then immediately tick off on a to-do list. Lovely, lovely stuff. Well, we're getting some more people in. Apologies again for that slightly rickety start to the episode. Like I say, I'd be lying if I said I knew exactly what that was all about. But we're getting there, you know. We are off and running. We're moving. We're shaking. We're almost 7 minutes in. Let's get on with our first segment, shall we? Let's earn some money. Do you mind if I earn some money? Let's do that. Let's do that. Because, of course, this show, Now Buddies, is sponsored by the wonderful people at bSquared Events. They get paid by an event, the organizers of an event, to advertise their event, and then they pay, bSquared pay me a portion of that money to read out some copy in order to advertise that event. It's very much the circle of life. So here we go. Let's earn some money. Shall we earn some money? Let's do it. You just can't beat authenticity in art. If you're telling a Mexican story about a Mexican lady, for God's sake, cast a Mexican lady. If you're telling a queer story, cast queer people. It just makes sense. And if you're doing a live-action remake of an animated Disney classic, just go white, because otherwise people are going to lose their minds. It's all about authentic, lived-in experience, which is why we, it's obviously not me, but the people for whom the copy that I'm reading out, why we, the Golden Players, are so excited to announce the first touring production of the Book of Mormon, the hit musical, to be cast exclusively with members of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. That's right, Mormons. You've always loved laughing at the hilarious exploits of Elders Price and Cunningham, but you've never truly felt the truth of their journey until you've seen it portrayed by people who've actually experienced Mormon missionary work. And yes, I know what you're thinking. Isn't half the cast black, which is quite problematic because you've never seen a black Mormon? Don't worry. We found 2 of them. They're really talented, and the rest of the cast absolutely do their level best. And after the initial shock, and it will be shocking, we do promise you, you really won't notice it. So go to goldenplayers.net to find out when we'll be in your town. We're going to every major city in America except for Atlanta and Detroit. That sounds wonderful, doesn't it? Sounds lots of fun. Wonderful, wonderful stuff. Fabulous there for the Golden Players. Lovely, I assume a play on the Golden Plates that Mormon founder Joseph Smith wrote down his wonderful Book of Mormon on. Or it was, he read it off the Golden Plates and he wrote it on a normal plate. I don't know. Go to the show, get one of them to explain it to you. I'm sure they'll be very, very pleased. Let's head back to Maine. Lovely, lovely work. How is everybody? Is it still I'm seeing 3 viewers on here. When I log in separately, I'm seeing 2 viewers there. I just don't know what's going on. Yo, Monkey Pixie Funk, hello to you. Are there any Americans in? Any Americans? It seems like this is all the British contingent. No AOL Time Warner. No definitely. No Nana. No Killer Kilch. Never mind. We plug on. The art will be here. It's just whether people want to tune in. Well, I hope you're having a great time, and I hope you're feeling positive, because we're about to be very positive right now.
I give props because though I'm great, there's
there's lots of art I see that's made by artists that are almost but not quite as good as me. I am a giver, super selfless, gather round to see just who will get a most sought after, not me branded. Well done you.
Boom. Well done you. Fabulous stuff. Maple Panda, it's my 50-month sub anniversary. Maple Panda. Thank you so much for that. Thank you. I wish I had a popper or something. That's fabulous. Thank you so much. Very, very generous. Your generosity is much, much appreciated. It just boosts the old bank balance and boosts the old self-esteem as well. Deserves a well done you in that case. Yeah, absolutely. Oh, wonderful work, TB. You manifested it. You brought it into life. You said you wanted Maple Panda to get a well done you, and then you made that happen. Wonderful stuff. Hello all. Hello Supernash18. Hello Supernash18. Lovely to see you. We are getting there. We are getting there. Well, today we are saying well done you to officially one of the 11 greatest actors in the history of acting, Adrien Brody. Yeah, that's right. At the Oscars a couple of weeks ago, he won his second Best Actor Oscar, only the 11th to ever achieve such a feat, which is why I was able to officially call him one of the 11 greatest actors of all time, for his role in The Brutalist, a highly, highly reviewed film about the American dream, heroin, and concrete. And taking inspiration from that bladder-testing 215-minute-long film, Adrien created the perfect symbiosis of life and art by making the longest speech in Oscars history. Can you imagine the creativity and artistic chutzpah needed to make your acceptance speech match your film? Oof. Did Anthony Hopkins do his speech, making uncomfortable eye contact with each member of the audience as blood oozed from his mouth? Did Emma Stone break down in tears, thinking about all the potential loves of her life that she severed ties with mercilessly to single-mindedly pursue her acting goals? Did Jean Dujardin say nothing at all for the artist? No, they just did it normally and well. Not Adrien. Instead, he gave us a deeply moving, soul-searching, and above all, endlessly generous acceptance speech, one that truly redefined the acceptable limits of self-reflection. Few could have guessed when he stopped on his way up to the stage to throw his chewing gum to his partner, Harvey Weinstein's ex-wife Georgina Chapman, that we would be gifted with such a profound treatise. But what he lacks in chewing gum aim, he more than makes up for in clever. He took us on a journey through the ephemeral nature of acting, revealing, quote, "No matter where you are in your career, no matter what you've accomplished, it can all go away. And if anyone knows about how fragile the life of an actor can be, it's a man whose IMDb page reveals he's had only 79 acting credits since 1988. Honestly, it's astonishing he was able to make it through. He humbly assured us that winning an award of this magnitude signifies not just a pinnacle, but a fresh beginning. And of course, he should know, having already reached the summit 21 years ago, becoming still the youngest Best Actor winner of all time. What a very creative statement to partition your career into separate eras using your Best Actor Oscars. Who else would think to do that? God, he's a marvel. Previous winners that evening had, of course, been swiftly ushered off mid-speech by the relentless march of time and Academy Award producers using the dreaded wrap it up music. The Best Visual Effects winners for Dune Part 2 touched their Oscars here for the very first time and then were played off with the music 55 seconds later. But before you get too upset for them and others like them on that night, don't forget that they aren't famous and they aren't Adrien. when the orchestra dared to signal that his time was up. And also, what were they thinking, by the way? Would you play off Kobe Bryant? He did not falter. "Please, turn the music off," he commanded, and the instruments fell silent. During his opening monologue, Oscar's host, Conan O'Brien, had even introduced the idea that if you did speak too long in your speech, in addition to the music, they would just cut to the venerable John Lithgow, looking disappointed. But did John look disappointed in this moment? Of course not. He, being a human after all, was keen to listen to any and all musings that Adrien wanted to bless us with. And then the thank yous. So many thank yous. A masterclass in appreciation in which no executive, no agent, no studio, no casting director was left unacknowledged. Every name spoken with reverence, every syllable a love letter to those who had the wisdom and foresight to place him and only him in roles of meaning and import and relevance. He shared his joy with his partner, his stepchildren, his parents, everyone who has ever treated him well, a poetic tapestry of hundreds of interconnected souls, all of whom in some way had formed a human ladder to allow Adrien to clamber upon this stage once again. And in this divided world, perhaps that was the most beautiful gift he bequeathed unto us, the knowledge that if you'd ever washed his car, or served him ice cream once, or told him you loved him in the Brothers Bloom, or given birth to him, you were part of something larger than yourself. And yet he had one final role to play. A messenger, a torchbearer, a voice for those whose struggles must not be forgotten. "I'm here once again," he declared, "to represent the lingering traumas and the repercussions of war and systematic oppression and of anti-Semitism and racism and of othering." He is not merely an actor, he is a beacon standing heroically against hate itself. And though the world may be imperfect, and let's not forget that there is still war in this world today, and also they tried to play him off earlier, he left us with a call to action. Keep smiling, keep loving one another, let's rebuild together. And then, at last, 5 minutes and 40 glorious, unbroken seconds later, he departed, leaving us all to indeed rebuild our senses of self, our understanding of rules and etiquette, and our hope that wars continue in this world, just so Adrien Brody can one day be cast as someone in that war to teach us about the horror of that war. And we had to go to the toilet, of course. It was a very, very long speech. Adrien probably didn't, I will say. He probably exists beyond bladders now. I'll just take a quick moment here to address some of the backlash. Not that I want to give any space to the haters, but on the YouTube video of him winning, there are some very unkind comments that I would like to publicly distance myself from. Let's have a look at some of these. "I'll keep it brief. Dude literally spoke for 5 minutes and 35 seconds. Yeah, that is brief for Adrien. Normally he talks a lot longer, and we should be grateful that he does talk longer often. Needed an intermission in the middle of that speech. Disrespectful. A reference to the intermission in the middle of The Brutalist, which is a very long film in and of itself. Maybe if we'd had an intermission, we would have been able to appreciate his words even more. He must really love acting, because he certainly loves the sound of his own voice. We all love the sound of Adrien Brody's voice, because it's so wise. People got on Timothée Chalamet for being confident in his speech, and this dude does a whole sermon up there, skull face. Yeah, it was a sermon, because it was kind of like the Word of God. Will this speech be nominated for Best Short Film next year? That's just a despicable thing to say. Act 114. Rumour is that he's still on that stage giving a speech. I wish he were. I wish he were. Personally speaking. Bro is fluent in Japanese. Disrespectful. Disgusting. Despicable. I'll tell you how good his speech was. After he left the stage, they announced that Anora had won Best Picture, and nobody really cared. It didn't seem as important anymore, knowing who'd won the big one, because the real winner that night was me. And you, and anyone else who was there to witness Adrien's address, capital A, an oration that will be looked back upon by historians alongside the Gettysburg Address and Martin Luther King Jr.'s I Have a Dream speech as a true verbal victory against hate. So for this, I say to Adrien Brody, well done, you. There it is. There it is. Oh, lovely stuff. Lovely stuff. Fabulous, fabulous. Oh, system. Yeah, you can be timed out. You don't want that. You don't want that. Thank you, TB, for getting in with the app names. TB. They aren't Adrien. That's nice. That's really nice. So his segment was the longest well done you in history in tribute to Brody. Was it the long? I mean, I feel like the Robbie Williams one was fairly substantial as well. But maybe. I mean, if it does end up that way, what a lovely tribute for me to give to him, giving to the brutalist. It's just Patty Duke had the shortest speech at 2 words, apparently. Well, good on Patty. Really kind of condensing it down. I don't know who Patty... I know Joe Pesci famously just said, thank you very much, I'm very grateful, and just walked off. Powerful in its own way. Powerful in its own way. Beyond Bladders. Lovely. Beyond Bladders. Fabulous. Thank you, guys. I appreciate you. And I appreciate Adrien Brody. Good on him. Let's head back to Maine. How are we all doing? Where's everybody else? Strange. Never mind. Are we all doing well? Are we all happy? Are we all hydrated? God, I hope you're hydrated. Oh, it's time for my favourite segment. You know it's my favourite segment, guys. Let's get on to it.
Won't you please let me present some awesome stuff that I've been sent, yeah?
That's a good point, TB. St. Patrick's Day tomorrow. Maybe they're celebrating. Yeah, maybe. Americans do love to pretend that they are Irish. It's one of their favourite things. Hot dogs and guns and pretending that they're Irish. Lovely stuff. This is my favourite segment of the show, guys. Absolutely my favourite segment of the show. It's because I just revel in the knowledge that I'm being thought of. You know, it's a lovely thing, isn't it? Somebody had Notme on their mind when I wasn't even in front of them, and they sent something to me. Something awesome. This week it was the wonderful, your friend and mine, TB Douglas, who sent me some photos of some culinary art she made. Oh, speaking of culinary art, just made a chocolate Guinness cake. Yowza, that sounds delish. And filling. Wonderful, wonderful stuff. Well done, Maple. Feel free to send me some photos of that. TB wrote in her email, I love the winter for many reasons. But a big one is winter cooking. Us Brits thrive in the cold weather because we love stews and roasts. But one of my favourite meals is a traditional shepherd's pie, which is made with lamb mince, or cottage pie, which is made with beef mince. I'm trying to be healthy, however, so I made one with turkey mince and sweet potato. Look at that. Yowza. Look at the colours, the sweet potato and the cheese, such wonderful kind of autumnal colours. I know we're moving into spring, but by goodness, you wouldn't know it from looking at that pie. Absolutely gorgeous. Although I will say, if you are going for healthy, cheese, rarely the way to go. But it's all on a spectrum, isn't it? It's all on a spectrum. Spectrum of healthiness. TB continues, I googled what a turkey mince version of a cottage pie should be called, and there is no official name. Unbelievable. Nor could I glean any particular naming convention from the other two examples, so I thought I'd just come up with one of my own. Creative. I called it a junction pie because it's at the junction of traditional ingredients and modern innovation. I wasn't overjoyed with the name, but I was keen to eat the thing, so I didn't give it that much thought. Well, I absolutely love it. I love it. A junction pie. And you may well not love the name TB, but it does make, as you say, as much logical sense as a cottage pie, which has no real connection to cottaging. So now we all know, and everybody must pledge here, watching, that if we make a cottage pie with sweet potato and turkey mince, we must call it a junction pie. Write that down, okay? That is now the law. TB continues further. When I took it out of the oven to check on it partway through, I dropped the lid back on the pie. Oh yeah, look at that. Look at that kind of arc, parabolic kind of arc moving through the junction pie. But in a wonderful moment of creative fortune, the lid created a curve which, from the right angle, looked like a smile. This both mirrored my smile, which was on my face because I couldn't wait to eat the pie, and it also felt like the pie itself was happy with the name Junction Pie, so the name stuck. The pie was happy with the name, guys. The pie was happy with the name. SJBeck72, fabulous work. Junction Pie, what a name. Excellent work. I love to see a happy pie. I really do. And it was, of course, Pi Day this week, one of the days whose date means something only when expressed in the incorrect American way. So this has all worked out very, very well indeed. Lovely stuff. Look at that. It's a smiling pie. Did you think that you'd be seeing a smiling pie today, guys? Super Nash 18, lovely. Thank you very much. Cheesy smile. Cheesy smile. Love that. So, of course, we say thank you, TB, for sending me something awesome and for inventing something brand new, or at least naming it the Junction Pie. The Junction Pie. Wonderful stuff. And, of course, a reminder to each and every one of you that if you do have something awesome that you would like to send to me, just send me an email. I am Notme. I am art@gmail.com. Wonderful work. What a segment that was. Real fun, real nice, real good. Let's keep it going. Guys, it's a question for you. It's a little question for you. Do you want to experience a brand new, never before experienced segment of Art Right Now? Is that something you'd be interested in? When you tell me. Is that something you'd be interested in? Hell yes, says Monkey Pixie Funk. Well, let's just get on with it, shall we?
973-826-7286. Cool today, Notline.
That's right. That is right. Guys, I set up a voicemail service some time ago, and then I just kind of left it, you know? I didn't control who contacted it, and I didn't give too many instructions on what kind of messages should be left on it. It's just the number that you heard. And there's on the screen right now. 973-826-7286. Call today. Available to anybody. It's free for Americans to call. I believe it's very cheap for the rest of the world to call, though please do check with the bill payer before you call. I got a couple of quick hang-ups early doors, but finally this week I got a proper message. And the title should give you some clue as to the content of it. I got it on the 13th, 3 days ago. I got it at 16:25, so late afternoon, and I've entitled it Trump Warning. Let's have a little listen.
Hey, not me. I got shown one of your videos this week by the algorithm, and I enjoyed it. It was a video about cutting your toenail too short, and I just thought to myself, man, you are right. That does suck. I currently have a toenail that is too short, and your video made me feel seen. And I clicked around some of your other videos, and I liked them. But then I clicked around some more, and I started noticing a few things. Y'all being nice to the gays. Y'all criticizing God. And then y'all endorsing Kamala Harris. Kamala Harris! And I understand why you did it. I do. I get it. But it's like I said to my second wife, Sherry. You're either with Trump or you're against Trump. And it seems to me like you ain't with Trump. No sirree. And then I saw your little Notline thing with the number on it. So I thought I'd call and give y'all some free advice. And the advice is this. You got to watch your back, brother, because Trump is watching. And not him specifically, because he's busy, obviously, leading the free world and selling Teslas. But he's got people who are his eyes and ears. And I understand y'all only get a handful of viewers on everything you do. But there is no insult too small that it won't keep Mr. Trump up at night. You understand? And let me tell you, he don't care how many people he has to silence to stand up for free speech. So think on, brother. You're in a car and you're veering left. So you got to straighten that sucker up by turning that wheel to the right. The rainbow cocktail you're cooking up could do with a little more red, white, and blue. That's all I'm saying. Because you're a talented guy with a healthy distrust of women and a hell of a beard. So it'd be a real shame if this little art thing disappeared. You understand? All right, that's me. Y'all take care now. Trump rules, girls drool, F-150, Baba Booey, MAGA forever. Let's go, Brandon.
Wow. Yeah, so that happened. You could very easily dismiss this guy as a crazy person. But he was nice about my videos, which says to me that he's not crazy at all. In fact, his sanity is diamond tough. And so do I actually kind of need to listen to this? Pay attention to it? You know? Do I need to consider my political leanings? I've never really considered myself any kind of political person. I feel like I kind of rise above all of that, you know, like a fresh apple rises up above water for apple bobbing. But I suppose I would skew slightly more left than right, just by virtue of the celebrities that I love. I mean, yes, of course, I love Tim Allen. I love Rob Schneider. I love Craig T. Nelson. Of course, they're all great. But come on, Matt Damon, George Clooney, Susan Sarandon, Sean Penn, Alec Baldwin, America Ferrera. But has that slight left lean put me in President Trump's crosshairs? I mean, he's a man who has shown an absolute passion for silencing his critics, and I really don't want to be silenced. So maybe I do need to righten this show up a little bit. Maybe something to think about for next time. Speaking of next time, though, of course, do feel free to leave a message on the Notline. 973-826-7286, of course, for non-Americans, you'd be +1. 973-826-7286. Call with whatever you want. That's kind of the whole deal with it. But that's Notline. That's Notline. A little warning about maybe old DJT Has his little beady eyes on this show. Who knows? Let's go back to Maine. More ep names. This is wonderful, guys. This is wonderful. This might be the first ever episode where I have to not include some because... Do we not have the... I feel like we should have the chat box on. Why is the chat box not working? No, it was working before, wasn't it? It's just because it's... Yeah, okay, that's fine. TB, healthy distrust of women. Yeah. I mean, I just think, you know... You know, a bear can be cute, but you trust it too much and then eventually it's going to rip your face off. I wonder whether that will be too long for a title, but we'll see. And then SJ, thank you. Trump warning... Fabulous. Fabulous, fabulous, fabulous. How are we doing for time? Oh, we are steaming through this, guys. Absolutely steaming through it. I'm proud of you all. Somebody mentioned it before. Let's get topical. Should we get topical? Let's get topical.
Donuts will not give you cancer, and tigers are not fancy panthers, and Idris Elba was never a Girl Scout. If knowledge is power, then let's go work out. Enlieclopedia.
That's right, guys. That is right. It's the time of the show, again, to train your noses to more effectively sniff out disinformation. As somebody mentioned earlier, it is St. Patrick's Day tomorrow. So I'm going to give you 5 facts about the Emerald Isle, Ireland itself, only one of which is correct, though. Now, I'll say this up top. All 5 of these facts sound like they could be true. They all have the ring of truth, as some Irish people might say, the spit of truth about them. You just need to identify which fact is solid gold truth, like the pot of gold at the end of a rainbow, and which are dirty, stinking lies. Are we ready? We're ready. Let's crack on. Fact number 1. Irish people's luck is on average 19% higher than most other nations. Unfortunately, the luck only extends to trifling matters, not life or death situations, which is why even with this luck buff, the history of Ireland has still been so tragic. They're great at bar bets, though. Could be true. Could be true. I mean, the history of Ireland has been very tragic, so that part we can tick off. Whether they do have that kind of low-level luck on top of that, who knows? Who knows? Fact number 2. Until 1962, Ireland's Prime Minister was just the hardest man on the island. If you could convincingly beat him up, you got to be in charge. The system ended when Ireland's then Prime Minister Eamon Doyle tried to get the country involved in the Cuban Missile Crisis. Elections were held within weeks. Could be. Maybe he just thought, do you know what? If the Irish went over to the Cuban Missile Crisis, they could effectively chin the Americans and chin the Russians and kind of, marshal the whole situation. But the people of Ireland maybe said, no, Eamon, no. Let's leave well alone, Eamon. No. Maybe. Again, they all seem true, but only one of them is. Fact number 3. Cillian Murphy was born in County Draucht, the secret Irish county where all of the Tuatha De Danann, the magical beings, live. This is the reason his integrity is so strong and his eyes so dreamy. He's certainly got dreamy eyes, but is the reason because he's actually a magical being who lives in a secret Irish county? Could be. Could be. Let's go fact number 4. Potatoes are held in such high regard in Ireland that to throw away a good potato more than twice in a year could land you jail time. Una Healy, former member of the pop group The Saturdays, would be arrested on sight if she ever returned to Ireland after throwing away a pan of mash in 2016. It was her second offence. Una Healy was a former member of the pop group The Saturdays. Does she live in exile now? Because she was wasteful with potatoes, which in Ireland are like Hindu cows. Could be. Could be. And the final fact, fact number 5. Ireland is the 121st largest country in the world, but has more castles than any other. Over 30,000, in fact, including ruins, aka ex-castles. That's a lot of castles for such a relatively small country. I mean, bearing in mind there's only, what are there, like 180-something countries in the world? So that's in the lower half, and yet we're supposed to believe it's got over 30,000 castles. It's got a lot of them, but including ruins. So it's like, is a brick of an old castle a castle? Who knows? Who knows? Let's go with the fact summary. Kind of lucky. Irish people's luck is on average 19% higher than most other nations. Unfortunately, the luck only extends to small matters, not life or death things, which is why even with this luck buff, the history of Ireland has still been so tragic. They're great at bar bets, though. Number 2, hard man PM. Until 1962, Ireland's Prime Minister was just the hardest man on the island. If you could convincingly beat him up, you got to be in charge. The system ended when, in 1962, Ireland's then Prime Minister Eamon Doyle tried to get the country involved in the Cuban Missile Crisis. Elections were held within weeks. Cillian Murphy was born in County Draocht, the secret Irish county where all of the Tuatha De Danann magical beings live. This is the reason his eyes are so dreamy and his integrity so high. Number 4, sacred potatoes. Potatoes are held in such high regard in Ireland that to throw away a good potato more than twice in a year could land you jail time. Una Healy, the former member of the Irish girl group The Saturdays, would be arrested on sight if she ever returned to Ireland after throwing away a pan of mash in 2016. It was her second offence. And number 5, lots of castles. Ireland is the 121st largest country in the world, but has more castles than any other. Only over 30,000, in fact. Including ruins which you could describe as ex-castles. So what do we think? What do we think? Wasteful with potatoes. Lovely stuff, Monkey Pixie Funk. What are we guys thinking? Which one do you think is the one true one? It seems crazy that that most of them are not true. What was it? Wasteful. Lovely. So we've got Monkey Pixie Funk going with 4, going with the sacred potatoes, very possibly. TB going with the 2 for sure. That sounds good. That was, of course, the hard man PM. Yeah, it's very possible, isn't it? Very possible. And a 1 for both SJ Beck and Mayport Panda. Kind of lucky. 19%. Very specific level of extra luck. Who knows? And that is only 4 people watching, so sure. Yeah, let's try that. Oh! Specifically Daniel Swan going with 3. Nice. And Super Nashwan 8 going with a 3 as well. Lovely. Okay, so we've got a nice mix. A nice spread. That's good. So let's get rid of our chat box. Thank you very much for your guesses, guys. This fact is true. What do we think? Ireland is the 121st largest country in the world, but has more castles than any other. Over 30,000, in fact, including ruins, parentheses, aka ex-castles. Which of course means that none of the people watching live got it correct. Everybody was wrong. This is the correct one. But I thank you all for playing. A very simple wow from SJBX72. A wow, we were fooled from TB Douglas. Yeah, Yeah, I mean, 30,000 seems, with all due respect, mental, doesn't it? Seems absolutely mental for them to have 30,000. Everybody was wrong. Everybody was wrong. Look at this. What a rich episode this has been for potential ep names. Thank you so much. No way, dude. Dude, way. Dude, way. Thank you so much for playing, guys. They are kidding us. I mean, we may be taking their word for it, and you know they do have history. I don't want to say they're a deceitful people, but you know, there have been examples of Irish people lying in the past. That's all I'll say. So that was another important installment of Enlieclopedia. You are now cleverer and better armed, even though you all get it wrong, to find the falsehoods that you are bombarded with daily. So now if somebody falsely claims that Lady Gaga came out of the womb with a third arm growing out of her back, you can say with confidence, nope, that's a lie. She was born this way. Back to Maine. Back to Maine. I mean, this was a shocking Enlieclopedia. I don't think we've ever had one where nobody's won it. I have to update the there we go. Yeah, that'll do. Not deceitful, but they offer to tarmac our drive, and we don't even have one. Well, I mean, that's, yeah. Again, you don't want to tar them all with the same tarmac/tar, but they are great storytellers. And what are storytellers but liars? Maybe. That is art. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I mean, them telling stories is art. So that's a possibility. Wonderful stuff. Do we only have one segment left? We've only got one segment left. How exciting. We don't have the luck of the Irish, as they say. You didn't have the luck of the Irish, didn't have that 19% buff, although no, we worked out that wasn't true, did we? We don't have the luck of the Irish. It's a malleable thing. And it's one of those things that you do have to wonder, is it just them believing that they have a lot of luck that gives them that positive attitude that kind of allows things to fall in their favor? Who knows? Can we control our luck in that way? It's a difficult one. It's a difficult one to go through. It's a really, it's tricky. Wonderful. Well, we've only got one segment left, guys. But it's a good one. Because I've got a video to show you. It's a world premiere. It's about something near and dear to me, and I guarantee near and dear to all of you. It's something that you use every week, and in fact, you're using it right now. That's right, Twitch. This is a video about Twitch. Wait, that doesn't capture your imagination that much? Well, what if I told you that this video is also about you? Yeah, I thought that would get you. Here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, nowbodies of all ages, this is a world premiere. What a sad time it is. Twitch, the live streaming website, have implemented a new storage limit of 100 hours for each channel. Now, you may well say that 100 hours sounds like a lot, and indeed Twitch themselves have confirmed that fewer than 0.5% of all channels are currently in breach of this limit. Unfortunately, I am one of that small number. Indeed, because I use Twitch like no one else in the world, I have over 220 hours of old shows saved up. To be honest, I may be the reason they implemented this storage limit in the first place. Soz if so. All of Art Right Now, over 90 episodes of I Am Smart the Notme quiz, and all 3 series of the Most Week show. 223 hours of absolute solid gold livetainment. And I'm going to have to delete most of it.
But not me. Surely all of these episodes are backed up on your computer.
Absolutely.
And presumably they're all still available on YouTube.
You know it.
So how come you're being such a mopey baby?
I'm not being a This is a sad development because what's being deleted isn't my shows. It isn't my work. It isn't my incredible ideas, thank goodness. What's being deleted is you. You who watched the shows, you who engaged with the shows, you who became part of the shows. What is saved on Twitch that is not saved anywhere else is the chat. Every comment that changed the direction of an episode, every wonderful suggestion that enhanced a segment, every outstanding musing that allowed me to pow 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 riff so effortlessly. It'll all be gone. And that makes me think of the early days of my livetainment career, when the pandemic was rife and people were succumbing to that awful disease and everyone was forced to stay at home and just watch things on screens, aka a captive audience. Good times. 26th of April 2020, I got 23 concurrent viewers. Can you imagine that? 23 people choosing to be entertained and inspired by little old Notme. It's never been that good since. These days I'm lucky if I hit double digis. They say when you purge your life of clutter, you end up feeling better. Maybe that'll be true for me. Maybe these older episodes have been a yoke around my neck, weighing me down from the better past. Maybe the reason I've never been able to hit the heady heights of the double digis in viewers recently is because I've been golemly holding on to my past glories. So maybe this is a good thing. Maybe. Here we go. Don't it always seem to go that you don't know what you've got till it's gone? Deleting all my chats, and I'm pretty bummed about that. Yeah. There we go. Wow, says TB, and you're absolutely right, TB. So the fact that I have been able to store things on there since proves that I have deleted a huge swathe of the shows from Twitch. So those early days. And even with deleting all of that, I'm still on 90-something hours, so gradually it's all just going to push back as well. It's tricky. I would love to be able to save it all, but as I say, they're all available still on YouTube. So and nobody watches them on YouTube. So if you did want to watch them, that has always been available to you. So something to think about. We've got a final bit of admin to do before we wrap things up. We've got a poll for what should the ep name be. The 5 options that we have. It's a strong poll. I'm not sure how you're going to really choose between them. We've got Beyond Bladders, Junction Pie, Cheesy Smile, Healthy Distrust of Women, and Wasteful with Potatoes. You've got 2 minutes, guys. Make your vote count. There is only a few of you, So you've really got to, make sure your vote is counting for a whole heck of a bunch here. Beyond Bladders, Junction Pie, Cheesy Smile, Healthy Distrust of Women, or Wasteful with Potatoes. What do we think? What do we think? Uh-oh. Gosh, how are all these people voting when there's only... We've got that's the 6 votes, and there's only 4 people watching. I just don't understand the world. Obviously, I was lamenting, I'm lucky if I hit double digits these days. We certainly missed out on that today, thanks to the Irish. I'm not going to hold it against them. I think there are fine people who've contributed a lot to the world, and not just through musical groups, but they've kind of let me down this time. They've kind of let me down today, which is bit of a shame. It's certainly causing me some troubles. Last few seconds of the thing. If you can drag anybody else in to get them to vote, please feel free. Absolutely feel free. Oh, we've got a dual victory here. Cheesy Smile and Wasteful with Potatoes. Just beating Junction Pie and Healthy Distrust of Women. Which means it's down to me. So I think, much as I am loath to give them some extra credit, it is their time at the moment. So I think we've got to give it to the Irish. Wasteful with Potatoes. That was Art Right Now. Series 2. Episode 4, Wasteful with Potatoes, is in the books. I hope you enjoyed watching and feel like your spirit, that your art and your life is at a better place now than it was an hour ago. I can't wait to do this all again next time. What I will say is next week we've got a quiz. The week after that, I've been able to sort out another wonderful volunteering my body for medical research. So that week after, I will be absolutely incommunicado, persona non grata. But then when we come back the week after, that will be... So it's not that one. So it'll be the 6th of April. 6th of April. I'll just put that on my calendar now. 6th of April will be the next Art Right Now. And I'll be honest with you guys, I think it might end up being an episode that's a little bit right-wing focused. So look forward to that. We'll try and make it as fun as possible whilst discussing freedom and small government. But yes, have a lovely creative week. Thank you so much, everybody, for watching. Thank you for all your emotes. Thank you for getting involved. Thank you for making this show a wonderful, wonderful thing. It certainly doesn't work when nobody watches, so I really appreciate you taking the time to tune in, and I hope that I will see you next week, same time, same place, for I Am Smart, the Not Me quiz. Take it easy, guys, and I will see you next time.
Thank you for watching, you've gladdened me greatly. Now if you want more art, you don't need to wait. We can art up whenever, there's no timetable. So create some stuff anytime you are able. A poem, a sculpture, a meme or a doodle. Try out them all, the whole kit and caboodle. But if you need help with the what and the how, I'll be back very soon with more Art Right Now.
I'm leaving the credits going because they didn't work before, so but they, people did well, so they deserve to be recognized. Monkey Pixie Funk for naming the episode. Okay, yep, there we go. Yep.